All right, finally, lockout has been lifted. Of course, it was about 10 minutes before I need to go off to work that it did lift and I wasn't able to do the video. But we're here and we're ready to go. So, what a fun first round. It was an interesting one because I actually feel like last year's round 1 and 2, I went way worse than what I did in this round 1, and the overall rank does not reflect that. I believe I was somewhere in the 18 to 19,000s last year in round 1 and end up with 35k after round 2, and I very much think that after round 2 this year I will be much closer to rank 1 than I will be to rank 35,000. That's or 38,000, whatever it was. That's my general thought. It's not like a lot of the picks went absolutely terrible. It's just, the teams that are in that top bracket at the moment, none of them are players that we know about. So most of the scores that you'll see from the guys that are very generally and most of the time in that top sort of 500 to 1,000, they come from scores anywhere between sort of 650 up to 750 is all I'm saying. So it's about 50 or so, 60 points off the pack. And really all that is in this round 1 game, round 1 week, was captaining Payne Haas over Cleary. Like if you grabbed him and stuck the C on him instead of Cleary and would have had both, there's 25 points. And then my pick personally of McInnes over Tohu Harris cost me sort of 20 odd points as well. And that ends up, sitting you almost that 50 mark that I was talking about, and you're sitting at a 740, and you look at that, you look at the rest of the team, and you think you've had a pretty good week, to be honest with you. There's a couple of average scores in there, but most guys kind of went solidly. I just didn't have the big scores in the 69s like Hosking and the Terrell May that I should have started with, and these types of players. So when I look at my team, I have no issues at all with where I'm sitting. All of my, none of my cash cows apart from Piakuro, which is hilarious. Look at him at 366. And if you thought you could get a Brendan Piakuro at 366 in the preseason, it just like he was basically 400k before this price drop. So to have him at 366, and he'll be lower after the next game he plays, unless he goes 60 plus, then he could be like a 340k asset, which is pretty crazy. So that's where we're at the moment with him. Is pretty funny. So we'll go through from top to bottom, guys, and give you my thoughts on if there's any potential that you should be looking at selling them, or if they're a hold or a screaming buy as well. Harry Grant went up. There's a few changes, guys, to the Storm game and also the Dragons game. Any players from those two had a good amount of changes, to be honest with you. So Harry Grant went up 6, ended up getting his tackle breaks. I think it was mainly tackle breaks that were missed out on. So on the other side of the park, Joe Chan went up to 26. All the tackle breaks that he got on Cleary weren't counted until today. So that's why Cleary went down 5 as well. And then you had Raps go down 44 to 43. I think Hosking went up 1 to 69. And then we had a little bit of movement with like Moses Sully, Flanagan, who we'll see in the head-to-head video that I've got. So yeah, that was really, really helpful. But Grant for me, a 49, a couple less than those of Robson with his 52, a couple more than that of Smith. Obviously wasn't worth it this week, but longer term, Harry is going to be a tremendous asset for our side. So again, underperformed a little bit this week, but longer term, he'll be fine. Cam Murray, the 62, so did really well, got 5 above his break even. Very, very awesome start with Cam, and I'm happy with that pick. Like, it could have picked Haas, and if he gets 70 minutes every week, Haas, then we're cooked, obviously. But if he goes back to sort of 60 minutes, I think Cam, with his 70, is going to be a good selection longer term. Not a better selection than Haas, just a good selection for my side. Morgan Smithy's guys are 52, did great. He goes up 18k and gets his cash rolling, which is awesome. And we'll look at our team value as well at the end of this video. So Tilly Tupanua, guys, for 22, obviously loses a little bit of cash there. And we'll have to find out if he's named and what's happening with him from team list tomorrow. So a lot of our general thoughts at the moment will change based on a few of those things. So keep that in mind. Tupanua, one of those guys potentially on the chopping block. Smithies, do you look to buy him? Now, there's questions about like sort of how many minutes. If he can get 60 minutes long term, great. But is he going to with Corey Horsburgh coming back? That's the question. I don't know. I don't think you can get on him this week. You probably have to wait until at least next week's team list, or wait until that game's done to see what kind of minutes he's got. Because if it's still a big minute role, he will still be undervalued in a few weeks. And if you jumped on early now, after round 1, then it doesn't pan out for you and he's a bench guy after that, same with like Hosking, then it can be an issue for you. So just keep an eye, just keep a thought there on that one. Wong there made some cash, which is good. Hopefully, it sounds like he's good to go. So hopefully a starting spot with some good minutes, 50 odd minutes, 50 to 60 odd minutes would be great for him. Pikura, we need to wait and see if we actually are allowed to start him this week. Hopefully he's good to go, and hopefully we can get a decent score out of him rather than a 0 and beat out the teams that didn't pick Pikura, given he's only 45%, 55% of teams did not have him. Cleary's captain. He'll bounce back, that's for sure. I'd tell you what, I wouldn't mind Hines as captain this coming week. Cleary's got para. It sounds like Mitch Moses is okay as well, so it's something to think about if you do own Mitchell. But we'll get into big buy, hold, sell, and risk it with Scoop on tomorrow. So it'll be out like tomorrow night, which will be Wednesday, which will be out Wednesday night, which will be hectic. Can't wait for that. Drew Hutchison, 34, makes 7K, which is awesome. Doing nothing apart from tackling a tiny bit of base, right? So that's all that was expected in this game. We're hoping for some more, but he was going left and right and doing good things. So he's one that we're not looking to buy, but we're not looking to sell either. A few people looking at Kiraz as a sell just because of the Taylor Mays and these types of guys, but he was only 5 off his break even, and the Dogs game was a shocker with people moving around all over the shop. Even if he does get moved to the wing guys, we know that he can do his best work running the footy, and a lot of time as a winger, you're taking that first or second hit up, whether it's kicking down to you and you get to run that 15 to 20 meters, which is good. Tackle breaks and whatever else can come from that, or you get the second or third run out of trouble, which is some of his best work, obviously, but we do lose the tackling there. So if he's on that left side, it could be fun with Crichton. We'll have to find out in team list. Ben Trbojevic, start him every week. Happy days on him. Sounds like he'll be fine. He'll be getting picked, and Schuster either through cup or on the bench. We'll see. Keeney was my worst one, obviously, guys, at 18. Calculated risk with him, thinking that the Titans would be okay and not get absolutely smashed, and dealing with cramps at the end of that game is what I found out in the end. He just ran off at the time. I was like, what's going on? But yeah, that's him. That's that with him. Pappenhausen down, obviously a little bit of cash as well. 20 for him, not ideal. But I suppose people could look to sell him, but then he could come out and against the Wires and have a good one. We don't know. Storm are looking good. Obviously getting a win on the weekend. I doubt it's going to be a 8-0 scoreline, so he should be able to get involved. Rapiner, all we hope that is he gets a few more weeks in the fullback jersey, and then I can move him on after he makes a bit of cash. So up a little bit, which is good. 43, he comes up against the Tigers, so I'd love for him to be fullback, and if he can get me a huge one, that would absolutely make my week, that's for sure. After this one, guys, we'll get into the head-to-head team as well, which actually did a lot better, which is awesome. Interchange, Cam McInnes, as I said, him over Tohu was a bit of a mistake, but it was 32k, a measly 32k I could have spared with, but is what it is on that one. Lukey, McInnes, again, hold, I think most likely if you do need him, like I'm going to be trading in Terrell May this week, no matter what, so yeah, however that happens, McInnes is one of the guys on the chopping block for me, but for everyone else, I do think that holding is the best strategy. He played 40 minutes. I don't think he's going to get 40 minutes next week, and I think it's going to be bigger than that. And I have this feeling he's going to come out and get a 55 plus, or at least a 50 odd, and do a good job for your side. But that's just how it usually works. They usually bounce back. Probably similar with Cotter, with his 41 in an absolute drubbing there, where they scored 43 points. So Cotter did his thing, 52 minutes. Some days he'll get 55 to 60 minutes and get 50 odd points. That could be next week. It wasn't this week. It was Lukey's turn to get 48 points there. A little bit of a lucky one as well, but he gets his price moving now, 15k up for Lukey, and that's exactly what you want, especially at the moment, guys. It's something we need to focus on now. The cash cow's not really making too much money, like a little bit, right? But not much. Like Strange went up 4k, Salmon went up a couple. You've got Chan up 9, Hughes up 8, Levi up, what was he, 290, 280 something, 10 or something like that for Levi. So none of these guys are absolutely jumping off the page, and there's not a lot of guys here with negative break-evens. It was Ben Trbojevic that has made the most money, given he went up 41k, right, in this first round, and he'll go up well again with a nice low break-even, but outside of that, not many of the cash cows have killed it. We might get 1 or 2 this weekend, whether it's Seyfarth, whether it's Galvin, and they can be options for your side, but I do think that, as I said in the 5 things I learned with the fantasy tip, guys, is the mid-range play is where you think you're going to make a bit of the cash this week. So the Terrell May, the Taylor May, the Hosking, these type of guys are the ones that are going to make the money this week. Lukey as well. I got this feeling that Lukey's going to go low this week. I hope it's not, but that's my feeling. I think McInnes is going to go high. Lukey's going to go like 33. I think Wong's going to have a good game. I'm doing predictions now, which is fun. Unsure on Karaz and Hutchison. I'm really hoping for a big Rapana one, and Pap should do a lot better as well. But I use Keeney as a looper this week. If I don't trade in a centre or a wing fullback, guys, Ethan Strange comes in for centres and Karaz goes down to wing fullback. And we can go about our merry way, bringing in some mids, some edges. I do like to trade hard early just to make sure I can get guys that are making money. Like McInnes is losing money now, 9K down for him from his 704 starting price or whatever it was, 702. So that's that's what I'm generally thinking. It's how it worked for me last year, sort of around 2, 3, 4, 5. I made really, really good trades, got points flowing, got cash rolling, and that's how you can build a really good side for the rest of the year. In terms of the other cheapies, guys, Salmon, Strange, Levi, Chan, and Hughes all did fine and all made a little bit of money. So that's the best thing this year is I didn't have any absolute duds. My biggest dud was obviously Pikura, losing heaps of money, but he was pretty much everyone's dud for the week. All the other guys are at least starting their money-making process. Their break-even goes down a bit, and break-even, guys, for those that are newer, the score that they need to get to maintain their price. Anything above that, they will make some money. Anything below that, they will lose some money. It also does change. There's a magic formula. It's 13.7 something thousand per point, right? But if in round 2 the scores are really low, right? So like they were in round 1, 694 was my score. The scores are really low in that section, in that week, sorry. Then the magic number, the price per point, is higher. If the scores are really high, it goes the other way. So that changes slightly each and every week. That's why it's called like a magic formula, because it changes all the time. And but anyway, that's a bit more higher brow stuff that we don't really need to think about too much. But people ask me about it, and there is that does change each and every week. So yeah, people say, oh, the number's this, but then someone else says it's this because it's changed in that week. So overall, happy with the side, guys. I'm likely to make 2 trades this week. We will find out after Team List Tuesday who I'm going to trade out, who I'm going to trade in. And yeah, we'll get into all those videos from there. So we'll have the schedule. Once you see this week with the videos, guys, this will be the schedule for the year. So I'm super excited to show you all that. Let's have a look at the money in the bank for me. So 10 million bucks, 49K in the bank. That might be a little bit above that, but that's as much as it tells us at this stage. 10 million on the dot or close to it. So I made about 50K for the week in a team that didn't go very well. Because you can see here, guys, it tells you all the money that they made as well. If you want to go into trades, it tells you very simply. Tupanua down 9, Grant down 9, Murray up 7, Smithy's up 18, Wong 15, and the like, right? Up and down, up and down. Thankfully, Trebojevic was my big one. Trebojevic and then Smithy's, eh? Trebojevic was 41, Smithy's 18, Wong 15. I'm really excited to see Wong this week because he's got some money to make, that's for sure. Poor Kenny, lost 2K. Sad times. Would Cartwright go up? 48K for him. Fanua Blake, 29. Haas, 16. Latrell, 33. Manu, 34. Awesome. So there you go. That shows you what's going on there. Let's go into the leagues like we always show you guys. My girlfriend's team, I did get to beat her this week by 20. She was doing well, but climbed over the top at the end. Thank goodness. We got the fam, we got my brother, and then we got Scoop in our first 4-person league. So when you see that, that's what you're seeing. Oh, I didn't even see this. Our head-to-head for the private group there, 694 versus 694. So Husey, I think that's Reese. Unlucky to you, unlucky to me that we get split points. So we'll see if that comes in handy later on down the track. We got a seeded league as well, which is actually super strong, guys. So all guys that I think we're in the top 200, I believe, or 250 max are in this league. So it's going to be a really fun one for me to follow. I think it's going to help me with checking out the guys and you guys as well, when I do this video, the types of guys that usually do really well in fantasy or that had a good year last year, like Rob Fung came 3rd last year overall, for example. Matt and Mitch topped our private group, that kind of thing there. All these guys until the top 50, so it'd be cool to see them on a weekly basis there. Let's just have a look at it now to have a look at some of the other best players in the game and their scores. So Rob Fung, who came 3rd last year, guys, got 664. So that shows how difficult it is to start well each and every year. And I'm sure he'd tell you himself that most years he doesn't start very well. So you look at my side, a 694, and you'd probably laugh at it and go, that's pretty terrible. But Rob, who came third last year, got 664 as well. So I don't think he's too stressed about it. He wouldn't be happy about it, but he's not going to be super stressed about it on the other end. All these guys, again, top 50 last year, been under 700. We got a good one here, 747 versus 726. Matt will be upset about that one. But again, you got Eddie in the podcasters leader. We'll get to, Scoop got, he ended up the same score as me. There you go, pretty funny. But yeah, lots of 600s. No one above the 747 mark in a league full, 20 players, whatever it is, full of top 250k players, 250 players. So that's that. A big congrats in the private group to Ben with 772, who wins our prize for the week. Benjamin, well done to you. Keep going down the list. There's plenty in this one. What else was I in? So we got the Podcasters League, which we'll go into now. Yep. Yeah, I won a couple of my leagues. Tied one. Yeah, 1, 2. Tied one. Lost one. So Battle of Podcast. So well done. We've got Lucy's team, which is his head-to-head team for Rob. No. Scratch that. Can't remember. We'll find it in a sec. But yeah, 758, 739. Few in the 720s, 710s, and then a bunch of us in around that 690, 680, 7, heaps there, up to just over 700, under 710. So you'll see guys that in this list, which is cool. And I think after the next 2 rounds, sort of after round 3, we'll be able to go, oh, okay, we really know who's had a good start here. Whereas all of us down here, there's no one that went absolutely shocking. 622 is the low. So middle of the rung for me, there's 25 people in there. The Talking League guys aren't in this. Not sure why they decided not to, but I think it's all a bit of fun. And we'll I think I came third last year or something, second or third in this, and no, third. So hoping to get up there in the top 3 again, like last year. So I think that's it for our leagues, guys. Rankings. Let's have a quick look at that while we're here, and then we will get into my head-to-head team. So cool to see, guys. Overall, we are 260 points behind, and the team coming first, they had a Willison in their starting team, so pretty funny at that. Ended up getting Carl Lawton, so it shows that it's just a bit all over the shop over the first few rounds. So don't worry about looking at the rankings too much. They started in the halves with Brooks and Flanagan. There's started with Terrell, which is awesome. Jamin Salmon and Ben Jaboyevich, they're starting edges. Spent up at center and wing fullback. All those guys did well. Started with Spencer Lenu. Started with Cal Iro and Beryl. So you look at that, and that's very similar across the rest of the top sort of 10 to 50, most likely. I haven't looked at them all, but that's usually where it's at. A really, really good start. Congrats to them. There you go. It's exactly 10 mil for me it was. So these guys have already made 250k more than I have, 240k. So that'll be fun to claw back and see how our team values and score values go over the next few weeks. But let's head on to our head-to-head team now. All right, we moved to the head-to-head team. Fun times over here because we actually had a really good score, guys. 751. I ended up making a late trade in this team and went Penasini to Sully, which didn't look great until they added his tackle bust, so thank you for that. It was weird. In Supercoach, they had him at 5 tackle breaks, and in Fantasy, they had him at 0, which is, strange. We usually get more stats, actually, with NRL.com, the way they do things. But it was a great start for my squad in Vegas, given I had Brandon Smith, Payne Haas, and also Trebojevic over there, Ben and Tom. Really happy with that. And then it was just setting things up from there. Very, very happy with my last minute, day before switch for Tuapiki. I ended up going, I'm going to go Keeney on my side, Tuapiki and this one because I think he's going to do pretty well. That turned out to be good for this team, not my team. Obviously, as I said, head-to-head squad guys, the reason we're doing this is I'm going to be doing a lot more head-to-head content this year and helping out you guys that are strictly head-to-head focused and not too worried about the overall scores. And obviously at the start, it is all about gaining plenty of money in your team value, scoring well, obviously, so you can get that team value, and then saving trades only for making money, right? And scoring well. It goes hand in hand, obviously, there. So the squad there obviously did have Hosking as well. Adam Elliott made couple of dollars in there. So Tuapiki was good, obviously. Sully the 33, only got 7 less than Penasini, and I got to save plenty of cash. And the reason for that was I'm now at 193, and I get to make some good trades in. And likely Fogarty is going to be getting a look in this side. I do have a couple of halves. It could be like, do I go for getting a secondary hooker? Like it could be Robson, things like that. I'm going to be looking at in this side. And with all of my guys basically making money. I also did a last minute switch from Bostock to Keeney and didn't play him just because like I'm going to hedge basically and play him in my side and not play him here and play Flanagan instead. And that worked out to be better, which is good. So again, it's all about a little bit of luck in round one, because this team's 751 and ranked 12,960. So yeah, it's a big change from 55 points or whatever it is, right? So that's that. Guys we're worried about in this side, we obviously didn't bring Wong in, but we've got Tupanua and Piakura. So those two guys clearly potentially on the chopping block. But yeah, with that kind of money that I have left over, I can prioritize guys that aren't really making money at this point. Obviously in a Tupanua. Hopefully he's back and ready to go. But if he's not, then I can use him to make some trades and go up and all that kind of thing, which is fun. We could also go for a Jacob Little. That'll be fun, considering I don't have any hooker cover. But yeah, the main differences there, obviously Payne Haas with the vice captaincy was good. Brandon Smith, we're happy to start him week on week. Elliott, I think the way that he's looking, he got a bit lucky on the weekend. He's someone that I could definitely use as a trade. Bit of trade bait. Hosking was awesome. He'll make some cash now up to 616. Very happy with that. Sully, as I said, you got Tom Trbojevic and Tuapiki. Both guys are different to that in my team, in my overall team there, that were doing really well and should continue to do so. I suppose then it was just I'm a little bit, because I've spent a lot of money there with Haas and Hosking, Trbojevic and Tuapiki, that kind of thing, compared to my team. I'm a little bit lighter on the bench, but I suppose I got the 26 from Chan, so it was lovely upgrades for me in this one in that last lot of upgrades, I should say. Chan going up, Flanagan going up, and Sully going up. So I lost the points from Cleary's captain, but I was 740, gained 11 points up to 751. So yeah, we're this team, as I said, really the main issue right now is hooker cover. I didn't go for Levi. So we'll have to see how Brandon Smith looks, obviously, as well. And yeah, they've got a game. When do they play? Round 2, near the end of the week. So yeah, it might be worth trying to get some hooker cover, or just seeing how he goes this week and then make some decisions from there in the head-to-head squad. But yeah, overall we're sitting fairly pretty, and I suppose at this point it's luxury upgrades, because we could just sit with this side and do fairly well, depending on how things are named with team lists. But if I can get to a point where if Tupanua and Piakura are playing, if I can get to a point where I don't have to play a Chan and sort of take that risk or something like that, if Salmon actually spends some time in the middle, maybe we can play Ethan Strange this week, given he's up against the Tigers. There's a few things that we could do in this side, and yeah, we have Keeney in there to loop as well. So that's his worth at the moment. Keanu Keeney is as the looping slot, and it's sad because he's actually a pretty good player. Yeah, everyone's talked him up before round 1, and now they say he's a dud because he had one bad score, but he is a good footy player. The Titans just really sucked. So that's that. That's my team. Probably all where I should leave it for now on talking about the squad. There's some fair few similarities. No one's really glaring as a complete sell, but we'll get to that when we get there. I won every one of my head-to-heads, which was great. Awesome. 726 was my closest opponent. I jumped in so many head-to-heads just to show you guys where I'm at and how to play head-to-head and how to try and win every single one of your leagues. So I'm in plenty of those. End up in a amateurs league as well, League 2, which I think has some tough opponents in it. Yeah, so plenty of good players in this one. My name's Jimmy Brown in this one, which is good. Yeah, round 1, let's have a quick look. So you've got, yeah, most guys, again, they're all good players, man, and they're all in the 600s, a couple in the 700s. So it's tough sledding in round 1, that's for sure. So yeah, not too much else to say on that one. I'm in another of the private group head-to-head. So in that one there, we've got a couple of guys that did well. If you see your face here, yeah, there's some really good scores. Tim Riley killed it. Joseph killed it there. Sean, yeah, this is a pretty tough league, this head-to-head league. So good luck, guys. It's going to be plenty of fun. But I think I'll leave it there with this video. Yeah, that's all. Cool. Happy days, guys. If you did see your league in here, shout out your league in the comments on YouTube. And yeah, big thanks to everyone for watching this video and following along with my round results. They're always a bit of fun. Sometimes they go better than other times. But this year, I've learned to relax just because I did so well last year based on a really terrible start. I think a lot of really high level players were in the top 5,000 very quickly last year, and I was at 35,000 at that time. So yeah, just make some good trades in the first 5 or 6 weeks, and you can get yourself in a great spot. We can all do it. I've seen me do it. You guys watch these videos, you should be able to do it as well. There's no reason why you can't. So thanks, guys, and we'll catch you in the next bunch of videos.